Hello. Okay. Should be live on Twitch and on YouTube. Everything's good. Can you hear me? Hello, Konako. Yeah, it should be fine. Okay. So. Okay, perfect. Oh yeah. So interesting stuff. I'm actually on a side quest again now, but I'll let people join here over the next few minutes, and then I'll continue with that. It's actually something that Amnesty has been asking for years. So I hope you appreciate it. But I'm also gonna show. I was actually planning on doing a video for you, Konako, and Keldasar, but I might as well just show it here, that thing with the in-scene network object and the issue with that. Have you had a chance to try the latest version and with the new mod tools and all that, Konako? Oh yeah, and I was actually planning on waiting with upgrading, this little thing I'm doing right now. I'm on a side quest right now where I'm working on that netcode code gen logic, so we can have network stuff work in mods. So like, as you know, Konako, network variables and stuff like that. So that has kind of been a side quest from the firing system, which I'm actually working on. But now, because I was on the side quest of fixing this netcode stuff and that in-scene game objects, I also took some other low-hanging fruits that would make some people happy. Like Amnesty was asking for that win thing. So I actually started to look into that here today after work. So I only been on it for a half an hour or something like that. But then I was thinking, okay, let me do a live stream because it's been a while. So, but let me start up the game here. So, okay. So what I was saying was that actually I'm working on the firing system, but right now that's kind of on a small hold because I'm on a tiny side quest called netcode code gen network stuff in mods, and that's going fine. And that change I'm actually doing in the currently released version of the game, meaning I branched out from that and is just making some minor changes to make that work, and all the firing system stuff is in another branch that I will continue on afterwards, because that will come out later when it's ready. But it makes sense to get this netcode stuff out now, so people like Konako can have a chance of playing around with it and share his mod with the players, and get feedback and get everything working and all good for before New Year's. And while I was on this side quest with the netcode, I also looked into some low-hanging fruits, and the current one is the wind speed change. Right now will just be a console command just to test it out. But it's something Amnesty asked for years now. So now I'm actually doing it. The other thing is that in-scene network objects that you requested, Keldasar, everybody requested, or all that are making mods or maps are. But they didn't know they were, but they were, because they couldn't have in-scene stuff. So I also worked on that, and it's kind of working, but I'm still having to figure out exactly why it's not working. But let's see if we can get back to that. Let me continue on this wind speed thing and let that work, and then I can go back to explain that other stuff. And another side note, I was planning on upgrading the Unity version to 6.2. There are some performance stuff and some changes that we could benefit from, but I was not going to do that now. But then yesterday I was thinking, okay, as we are pushing this out now and we want to go over the maps maybe anyway, Keldasar, and work on some of the items maybe, it might make sense to upgrade to have some of these performance improvements options. So I also upgraded, but that version will come out on private soon. And I will also upgrade the mod tools to use 6.2 and netcode 2.5 and all that. So we will have that on the private branch for a while, so we can test out so everything is working, and then we can push it out to the experimental, get more people to tip in if they find issues, and then we push it out to everybody. But I actually did the upgrade now. I haven't pushed it yet, Konako. I haven't upgraded the mod tools, and I haven't pushed this version out. I tested a little myself. I upgraded yesterday, and it seems to be working fine. So that's good. Even with the mod netcodes, even though the mod was built in netcode 2.2, it works in the game in 2.5 too. So that's good. Hello, Pure Pyro. Hello. Okay, so let me roll some small things back here. Okay. So let's see here. So basically, let me just show you here. Because right now it's actually working, but I need to make it work in multiplayer too, because it actually have an effect on how things are interacting with each other. What I'm showing now is a console command for the wind speed. Right now it's FM debug wind speed, but I might put it under something else, but that's not so important right now. Let's see here. So let's go in here and let's start again. We don't want to have any mods or anything. Boom. Just start quickly. Sadly, Amnesty is not here. You should tag him because this is his stuff. Okay, so if we do some cakes here. And we do some slow fuse, so we have some fireworks going on, some smoke and everything. Okay. Oh, I removed the sound. Okay. Okay, so you see it's going up here. Then I can take the command here called wind speed, and we can see currently it says to 0.25. So let's change it to 20. And you can see that the smoke is now flying very quickly. But it also have an impact on some of it depends a little on how the particles are done, how much drag they have, I think, how much they are affected by it. These are not affected too much, but let's try some other ones. Let's see. Because now we can also maybe do it a little more here, so we can. Okay, they are not that affected. And we can go in here and we can say cloudy, so we can see it on the clouds. They should be moving fast. Okay, now it might have changed because I changed the weather. So let's see. Yeah, now it's changed again. So let's set it to 30. So now you can see that the clouds are also moving fast. It's not actually affecting the particles that much. Some of them are. It's very confusing to look at with this clouds going crazy like that. What if we say dark cloudy? Okay. So, hello Amnesty. So I'm working on a wind speed setting. It's a console command right now. Now I changed the. Every time we change the weather, it's going back. So we can see here. So now it's 25. Let's set it to 20. And this is something I have to fix because the smoke apparently from the propane tank are not affected by it. But if we do something like this. Should be. Yeah, you bugged me enough. Exactly. You can see here that the smoke is flying very quickly. Too much, but I don't know why. I was testing it before and I actually saw some changes in the when it was shooting up the particles. They were actually also kind of bending that way. Anyway, this is too much, of course, but you can control it now. I might have to change the command on it. But the thing is that right now it's only a client-side thing. But wouldn't it be nice, MSD, if it was a host thing? So like the host could do it? This is too crazy. Let's go for something more, 5 or something like that. I have to, let's just try something. Okay, there's something with the propane tanks. And that's, I cannot fix everything, but I guess I can. So we have this one here. That's the propane explosion. And you can see the smoke here is flying away a little. Flying away here. But I think that drag one here is holding it back. So just lowering the damping here. Let's see. Okay. What if we start speed? Speed over lifetime. Why don't we just do like that? Shouldn't that? Okay, that was weird. Oh, that's size. Jesus Christ. It's size over lifetime. That's not what we want. Start speed. But I think this drag is holding on to it, so like that. So let's try that. I'll fix that. Let's try it again. Yeah, the hosting could be fine. Let me do it as a client side only now, and then let me quickly see if I can easily make it a network thing. But again, things have, these side quests, one side quest needs to another side quest. Hello, Artemis. I'm actually doing multiple things, but right now I'm doing a wind speed setting, or wind speed command. So, potentially or eventually the host can change the speed of the wind because somebody really wanted that. And that somebody was Amnesty. So let's see here. So this is how it is normally. Okay, why is it? Okay. Oh, there we have the problem. So when I'm setting this Amnesty, it's actually somehow saving the change. So it remembers the 20. That's kind of annoying. But okay, you can set it yourself, but yeah, okay. Oh yeah, we can try the much. See, now it's set to 20, so now it's very windy, you can see. And if we take the dark cloudy, and then maybe, yeah, okay, it's very dark here, so I cannot see it really. And what is it now? So now it's 5. So it's like this command is actually setting it on the actual weather preset. And that is the problem with this envirus guy, is that it's at least in the editor, I don't know if it's doing it in the game. But I'd rather not want to change the setting on the actual, it's like it's changing it in the game, or in your local version of the game. Yeah, apparently it persists, which might be good, might not be good. No, it is affecting the clouds. Not the clouds in the game, but the clouds in the weather system are affected by this wind thing, which would make sense, right? Let me try and include some of your mods and let's see. Oh, it was the I tested it earlier with some mortar stuff, and they were heavily affected by the wind. But I think it's something. It depends on the particle, how much drag it have, and this velocity over lifetime or something like that. Okay, so let's take the shells here, and where is the? Oh, I don't have the mortars. It's here. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I agree. But yeah, let me do it as a local thing first. So let's see here. So let's go for some mortars here. Boom. What was that? 4-inch. Or what was that? 5? Oh, by the way, it's fixed, you see? So let's go like that. Boom. And let's see. Debug wind speed. Boom. It's set to 20, which is fast. So that looks cool, right? And you see, that's why it have to be a host setting that is synchronized to clients, because if this is a client side only, the clients would see these shells go straight up, and the host, or depending on what the player set, these would be flying differently, and that's not ideal. So we have to make it a host thing. Okay, wait a second. Just a second. The default depends on the weather, but the problem is, how do you get back to that if you changed it? For clear sky, I remember it was 0.25. For the cloudy, it was like 0.5 or something like that. But let me just check something, because there is some. I think it's. So the way I set it is actually here in the weather, target weather time, environment override wind speed. So in the, let's see here. So remove my base maybe. Oops. There we go. Let's see if we can environment here. So no, it's the weather. So weather Yes, okay. Weather preset controls, and then we have like the clear sky, and then we have the environment, and here we have so this is the what is that? Ah, that's one. Ah, okay. So clear sky environment. There was some overrides. Zone controls. No. Because this speed thing is just 0 to 1, so just like how much should it be affected? So maybe it is this, and then it's just an internal thing that it have this override. Wind controls. Ah, here it is. Some settings are controlled from weather and quality modules. So the wind speed in the season thing is overridden by the weather. Makes sense. So the weather affects but wind speed 1, you know, it's not a fixed value. So let's see. Yeah, I think that's how it is. Okay. Anyway, so okay. Let me see something. So is it so that would be eventually would be host, right? So host wind speed. Okay, perfect. Okay, the thing is now to make it network enable. We have to have this EnviroSky manager be a network manager. Okay. Now it's gonna be tough. When you push this out for private testing, could we also have a flashlight brightness slider in that version? You are so demanding. I think I already made it, as you know, but that is made in the other version. And it's not, I can't just take like one feature over like that. Nah, that's not that easy. It's not so easy. No, the firing, no, the flashlight comes with the firing system, and the firing system is in another branch. And also that the dynamic depth and all that new stuff, that's in a new branch. That's not what is gonna be released soon. Well, maybe to private or whatever, but not publicly. I know it's a little confusing, but right now I'm just forget about the firing system. I've gone back to the normal version, because I wanted to fix this netcode stuff so that modders have chances to fix stuff and make network stuff before New Year's. So that needs to be released now. While I was doing that, or am doing that, it makes sense to do some minor stuff like your wind speed thing. And also I ended up, I don't know if you heard that, but I ended up also upgrading to the latest Unity 6.2, because there are some performance benefits that especially your realistic maps could benefit from performance-wise. So I also yesterday upgraded to 6.2, So yeah, so we're also gonna test that on private soon, and then the experimental thing. But anyway, let me try and fix this and see if I can do it quickly. So this one. Okay, so we could just have a. Okay. So that's apparently possible to have that. Okay, so we need to have environment sky manager need to be a network object, and we don't need to synchronize the. Yeah, that's fine. So we have it like that. Boom, boom, boom. And then we do environment sky manager, and then we do like that. Boom. Okay. So now it's a network enabled password. So let's see. And then we need it in here too for it to work. Sky, so it's registered, so it can be spawned. Yes. And then let's make it a network behavior. Boom. Okay. So, and then we, because we now, if it's synchronized like that, like it is now, I don't need. The way the weather was synchronized before was actually, yeah, it was a little special. Yeah, how did we actually do that? So we have this and this. Let me think. But I can still do that really. It's a little confusing, but anyway. Let's try something. So we have a network variable which will be a float, and it will be wind speed. So that's, and everybody can read, and only the server. Oops. So no. Only the server can write, and everybody can read it. Okay, so here we go, wind speed, and then we need to override spawn thing. So if we are no, that's actually we actually need to do so. On value changed. Oops. So when value changed, this that's fine. Boom. Yes. So when that is changed, we set that. Yeah, I might want to redo some of this other stuff, but let's try this first. So when we are setting it here, then we only if we are so if we are the server, we set the value of this to whatever value you put in, because this will then, so this will we could also log out something if you're not the server, but let's not do that right now. So if we are the server, we can actually set the wind speed of that network variable. It will set the speed. And we also need to return that. So when we set the speed, this one up here is triggered on both the clients and the server, and this on value changed is triggered, and you check if the instance is there, and then it sets the wind speed. Okay, perfect. So what about when we load completed? So when the level is loaded, we refresh some stuff? Let's see here. So it's night, and then if we are the server, we set, it's actually the other way around. We set the wind speed value to this one. So if we are the server and we load it in the map, we set this network variable. We can't. No, that cannot happen when the scene loaded completed. No, because that will happen before. I think that happens before we actually started the host, and then we will get an error this one. But let's see. I know it's totally confusing, but okay. So now we have to start up a. If this just works, I'm getting crazy at multiplayer stuff. I don't expect it to work first time, but let's see. We will have many things in Mania, but a little bit or not later. We will have many things in Mania, but little bit or not later. I don't get that out of it. Yeah. Little by little. So let's see. But this is actually the last thing I'm gonna do in this version, hopefully, other than bug fixes. Then I'm gonna upgrade the mod tools, and then I'm gonna push that and then push it to private, and then we can test this new version, which haven't changed a lot, but Unity has been upgraded, and we have this netcode thing. So okay, anyway, so let's create one here. Let's create. I'll just to show the. Yeah, okay, maybe I'm pushing it now, but let's try this map, which is actually just gonna show some other things while I'm also testing this, but I might pushing it now, showing and testing two things. But the issue that we had since the multiplayer was that the in-game maps could have items in the scene. So you see here, I just spawned into this map here. There was some chairs already here and a white box, and there is something spawning a chair every 3 seconds. Random logic, just to show that it works. And this has been working all the time, or since I made it work for the in-game maps, but it never worked for for the modded maps. For some reason I couldn't make it work. I think I figured out how to make it work now. So now hopefully in a moment when I'm joining from the client should see the same things that was in the scene already. I don't know if it makes sense, but there's a difference between items that are in the scene and network synchronized and then being spawned in the scene afterwards. Like, you know, when we spawn the fireworks, that works afterwards. So let's see if it works. So you see here on the client, let's clear this. So on the client here to the right, you see the same things. One thing is these things, they are spawned dynamically, you know, after we join. But these was here from the beginning, and I can move them around too. There are some weird warnings sometimes. I have to figure that one out, but it works. Let's see. And this one is a little bigger. I can take this one too. So this is a big deal because that means that we can have things in modded maps that can be synchronized, open doors, moved stuff, and also destructible stuff. Of course, the modders have to do it, but now I have to make it destructible and make some destructible items and stuff like that. But it's doable now. Now it can actually be done. So that's pretty cool. But that was not what we were gonna test. So, okay. So let's see. Did we get any errors here? No. Okay. So let me check some stuff before. So we need to. So, oh shit. Hierarchy. Okay. So on the right side here we have the client, and on the left side we have the host. So let's see here if we have a. If we have we should have a EnviroSky manager clone. So that means it's synchronized. Because if it was not working, we would first of all have an error, and we wouldn't have this EnviroSky manager here. You can see it's a network object, and if I open it over here, we can. Jesus, there's so much on the screen. So we have it here, and we can see that it have an ID, and it's blah 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 blah, and a network manager, and it's in scene blah blah blah. So it seems like it's all hooked up correctly. So that means if we start some smoke, let's see what happens. Okay, we need to get over here. Okay, over here. So, okay. So the smoke, let's, and then let's increase over here on the, on the host. Let's say wind speed, and it's currently 1. Let's set it to 20. Maybe it's not enough. What about 50? Okay, we can see. Okay. Wait a second. Let's do cloudy. Okay. Okay, so it is actually working. There is something when we're changing the weather, it should update again, but that shouldn't be a problem. We'll figure that one out. It's moving very fast here. What if we do 5? So now it's a little more windy, and let's take some of Amnesty's fireworks. Let's see. Hello, Kiltasam. Let's see. Yes, and we should see the same. We can see the same here. You can see that they are kind of looks the same. They are standing the same place. So if I go to the host and I change the wind speed to 0 to 1, everything slows down. Okay. That was crazy that it worked the first time. That was pretty crazy. Okay. But I don't know if you noticed it, but if we set this to 30, you see that it synchronizes and the clouds move fast because the wind is now crazy. What if we take the rain, for instance? Does that affect? So we change the weather, and now. Okay, but that's because it haven't been changed. Okay. So now let's set that to 30. No, it has no effect on that. Oh, 20, sorry. Okay, no effect on that. Effect on the clouds, but not on the. What about the snow here? So that is 1. What if we set it to 10? Come on, snow. Oh, okay, so it have an effect on the snow. But the snow is not gonna show up on the. Okay, it's coming here. Okay, there it is. Maybe we should make it darker. Okay. So it affects the snow at least. So there we have it. Let's set it to 1 again. Okay. So it takes a while. It's not instant. It changes it, like it's lurbing it to the other value. Okay, so it looks like we have some synchronized stuff here. I think there was something. When the weather was changed, do we have an let's see, do we have an event for that? On weather changed. Okay. The time of day is daytime, is nighttime. We're just sending out these two. Okay, so we could actually make that simpler. I think we can make that simpler by having only the I don't know if we have, maybe there's a setting to have the clouds be less affected by the wind. Let me check. Let's see. So maybe that's the sky. Let's see. No, that's not the sky. No, it has to be the clouds. Flat clouds, volumetric clouds. Wind. Cloud travel speed. Clouds travel speed. Let me see. Don't we have some documentation here? Cloud travel speed. So I think we could take that down. Wind speed modifier. Clouds, wind direction. Okay, well, okay, maybe we can do something here. Yep. Okay, let's try. Wait a second. Let's see here. Okay, let me do something. Okay, so let's try and make this a little simpler. So if we are the server, let's try and replace this day-night thingy. So if we are the server, refresh, what does that do? It's I have to think a bit here. We also don't have to. This should be here when this is on. Have to be there. So let's say if this is null, let's throw an exception because something is wrong. something like that, because then we don't have to check this all the time, because it should never not be there. Okay. Damn it. Let's just keep it. Anyway. Okay. So if we are the server and this one is here, then let's hook up these two events. No. Yeah, okay. Okay, I just need to have a network variable. Okay, stop. So we just need to have a bool saying stay true. So we just call it isDay. So we just have a bool saying if it's stay or not true. Everyone can see it, only server can set it, yes. So only only the server will. Okay, so unvalue changed. See, we don't need that. We can actually just go ahead and basically we can say isDay. Okay, let's try this. If the new value is true, we send this. Else we send this. We could also. Damn it! Let's do like this. So both on client and the server, every time we set this isDay boolean, it will trigger this one, which sends an event off, which is then catched some other places in the game that changes, the lights and stuff like that. So we can remove these. I might. And it's apparently is night, apparently, so it's the opposite of that. Okay. Okay, it's pretty crazy now, but it should end up being okay, is night. Is that what is okay? Okay, maybe we should call it that instead then. Is night. And then we say true. And then we don't want to do that. We actually want to do that. Oh, damn it. Wait a second. Okay, so this is not gonna be any more simple. I'm confusing myself now. Wait a second. Hello, James. No, I'm not. Still, it's been weeks and you still haven't got a headphone. It's so weird. Also because if this is a bug or a troll, it's a weird thing to do. Write in the chat. Such a weird thing. Hello, Struxteam. Okay, sorry I got a little distracted here, but it's because I'm trying to simplify this now that it's network enabled. I should actually be able to do some things. Yeah, so if it's the server and it's spawned, we do this, so it hooks up, so it triggers this one, and every time it triggers this one, it could also. So instead of sending that message there, we are doing is night value equals true, and else we are saying is false. And we return this is night value instead. Like that. So, okay, so refresh. So when it's spawned, okay. So we don't want to do this in start actually. So when it's spawned, if there no, we refresh. We might want to wait with that. Refresh. So it sets up this one. Okay. Fresh. Yeah, okay. So it sets these network variables. So we want to do that later on. I think we should try and just let's try this again because it's annoying having to check so many times. So if this is null, we throw an exception. Nope. Come with some other suggestion. Nope. Something like that, because then we don't have to do this, because I don't think we have to check for that freaking null all the time. It should be there, else we have other problems. Okay, so so when it's spawned, so let's go down here. So when this is spawned, if it's the server, it hooks up these events here. I stay on there, yeah, and then it hooks up this one, which broadcast is night. So that means it has to be the opposite of that. So that happens on the client and on the server. Every time that is set, we are only calling this. Destroy, we have to uncheck these, that's fine. We unhook these events. Here we have to check for, because that can sometimes be null when we are destroy. We have to be on destroy. Don't we have to destroy something? Ah, yeah, see. Okay, wait a second. exactly. There is something on destroy. Yeah, okay, it is here. Okay. 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 Because now we are network variable, so now we have this over destroyed. That's fine. We check for null because that can be null sometimes when it's going down, shutting down. Then we unhook these events. We unhook this event and destroy. Boom. Perfect. Boom. Apply settings here. Blah blah blah. Do some stuff. Yes. Refresh is called when? It's called when it's spawned, and it's called on the scene loaded. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Yes, that's fine. And we might want to call it 2. Yes, we want to call it 2 when we switch the weather. So let's do something like this on weather changed. So this, and then we unhook it once we are destroying it. Okay, so on the server, when it spawns, it hooks up these events. When the weather is changed, we need to refresh again, because on the server we have to refresh, because the refresh method is setting the weather speed depending on the target weather, and it's setting is night depending on if it's night or not. So this way we avoid that problem where the client might have some speed and the host another speed when the weather is changed. Anyway, I think we might have something here. I don't know if it looks simpler than before, but I think it's a little simpler now because we have these 2 network variables, which is a little more nice. And then we hook up to this on the server only and synchronize these values. When these values are changed, it will be synchronized to the clients, which will then trigger this message that on the server will shut down the lights or do whatever people have hooked it up to. And the wind speed, once that is changed, it's set on the wind speed here. And we only set this value in here, and also we also set it here in the refresh method, so it's overridden from what we have in right. Okay, I think we have it, maybe. So you see, Amnesty, your little request for a wind speed change isn't, and this is actually an easy thing, but you can see it's not simple, even though it's a simple thing. Keltusar, Amnesty, and Konako, are you still here? Also Truxty for that matter, but it was more related to modding. Because if this is working, I can maybe show you that in-scene network variable issue. Else I can just do a video at some point. I'll have to do once we get it working. Okay, you're still here. Yeah, maybe you are the most. Konako was also interested in knowing it. But okay, let's see if this is working, and if it's working, let's see here, something like that, and let's do a. Let's just check this one again because it's simple. Okay. Let's see. It's a little, isn't it a little too boring? Like that, boom, boom. Okay. Any errors? Nope. And the wind speed says wind speed 1. says host wind speed 1, and I cannot change it. If I change it to 1, 2, I don't know if you can see it here, but if I change it to 1, 2, 3, it should still just be 1. But if I change it over here on the host, it should be changed to 20, as it should here. Boom. Okay, perfect. And what if I change the weather? So let's say foggy snow. So here we have it, and we have the wind speed set to, it's still 20. Okay, well, let's see. Still 20. What if we set it to 30? 30. What if we change it to cloudy? Okay, so now it actually looks like it's okay, wait a second. So we set it when the weather is changed, we refresh, which takes the environment override. Okay, maybe that's not. Okay, but it might be fine. Let's see here. Okay, so there's clearly something wrong here, because you can see these clouds are moving very fast. Maybe it's because at the time it switches the weather, it's not actually changed yet. So at this point here, this might not be set to the actual. Does it have a wind speed here? It only overrides weather target settings. Hello, Super Pyro. Okay, good to still here, Amnesty and Kirosan. I was hoping this would just work, but there's still something that is not synchronized. What if I quit and rejoin? Or leave the game and join again? Okay, so it, but that could just be because it had it before. Okay, but anyway, just for the testing of stuff, let's just see if that setting. I know I'm jumping around a bit, but I'm trying to optimize the time a bit. We had something called cloud speed travel here. So, okay. Okay, so that's the volumetric one. So you can see the cloud travel speed here. 0.1. So it is already very slow. And I guess the flat clouds have the same. Wind intensity. So that is 0. And then this is 0. Okay, why is that? Shouldn't that be the flat clouds? Apparently not. Anyway, is that the sky then? That is moving so fast? Nope. You see, there is some kind of... These are the volumetric clouds, but these up here behind, what is that? Sky no... Ah, it's right there. Jesus Christ. Yeah, okay. Wind speed, intensity, freaking god. Okay. Okay, so I can't just take it down a bit. Okay, and the reason I'm just fumbling around and changing settings is because I can just undo it in GitHub here. So I'm not afraid of messing something up. So possibly we could code it so this the swish speed, wind speed maybe, ONFX particle systems. Yeah, I can do it so that the clouds are not affected at all. That was what I just showed there. So let me just see something here. Okay, let me just wait a second. I just need to do something here. I just need to check something. This one. I'm just checking in some of the changes because the changes to these propane cloud things or smoke things are okay. Then we need to undo that one, and we need to undo that one. Clear sky, we need to undo that one. And then we can really we should undo that one and then have it reload here, and then we can just drag in that. Yeah, so we remove that one and then we take in this one like that. Okay, so now it's simple here. Okay, perfect. And then I can go into the volumetric cloud settings here, and I can go to this one, and then I can change the travel speed. So it's like right now it's affected like 0.1 apparently, the volumetric clouds. So we can set that to 0.02 maybe. And then we have the flat clouds, which was the top layer one, which have cloud speed intensity of 0.5, and we can go down to, let's say, 0.1. So now the cloud should be much less affected by the wind speed. So that should fix that. But before we test that, there is something I want to see here. I want to see what... I want to see... What do I want to see? Yeah, okay, so if... how are the weather change actually? How is that actually synchronized? Maybe I'm redoing something here. It's done in the post setting sharing. Yes. Yeah, okay. But every time. So the weather is changed. Okay. I want to see this. So, debug. And then envirus, sky, wind speed. Even though that should be the same, but it will be interesting to see. So now I'm logging out. Every time I'm refreshing, I'm logging out these settings here. So the is-night value, the speed value, wind speed value, and then the actual wind speed on the environment sky system. So because then we can see on the client and the host if these align when the refresh is called. Because we might wanna when the wind speed is we could really just call the refresh when the wind speed is changed too, instead of this. Because this is basically doing yeah, okay, we're setting now. Okay, no, okay. No, okay. Yeah, okay. Let's try. Oh, no. Let's see it. Let's start up a client and a host and let's see. What you mean, MSD, is that you don't want to see the clouds move so much, right? That's what you mean by only affected particle systems. And that, I think I just did that, but we will have to see now. But keep in mind that the particle system will only be affected as much as the particle system allows, because if the particles have a big drag or something like that, they can't be moved that much, and therefore won't be that affected by the wind speed. So let's see here. And here we go. I was hoping this would have been done a little quicker, but now we spent like an hour and 15 minutes on this. Yeah, but let's see now if it works. I have scaled down the wind speed effects on the cloud now. On the clouds, so they shouldn't be that affected. Oh, did I take... Oh, damn it, I picked single player. Stupid. Multiplayer. Create. Yes, sir. Boom, boom. Let's go. Boom. Come on. Refresh. Boom. Join. Yes. Okay. So, let's switch to cloudy. And let's scroll down here. So this was when we changed it before. So is night is true. Is it night? I wouldn't call it night, but anyway. maybe I messed up that one, but we can see that in a moment. So the wind speed is 0.25 and 0. Okay, and here we go. So 25, 25. Perfect. So let me now change. See the wind speed. That's 0.25. Somehow it's being reverted back. Okay, anyway, we set it to 20. And now let's see here. If it's 20, it's 20, yes. Okay, maybe I should do it so we can see what happens. And why is it not refreshed? Okay, so you can see now it's the wind is affecting this pretty much, but not so much the let's set to 50. You can see the clouds. The clouds are moving fast, but now the wind is also very, very fast. Or is it? Okay. Or maybe the smoke from these have again drag, so they don't move that much. That can also be the case. Let's see here. Okay, yeah, you see this smoke is moving fast. With some of your stuff here, let's see how it looks. See, that is very effective. See, this looks kind of cool, right? But it depends again on the drag on the, let's set it to 20 or 1, or was it 10, sorry. And it works the same here. It looks the same here. So what if I set it up to 50 like crazy? And then I change the weather to like snow. So it says 50 here. But that's not correct. So it's synchronized correctly, but it's not set correctly. Let me see something here. So we have to manage fire sky. We have the wind zone. See, it's back to 1. So it affects your cakes a lot, as you can see. So that's pretty good. And the clouds are not that affected now. They are moving much slower. We could maybe slow it down even more. Volumetric clouds. Let's see here. So let's say cloud speed should be 0.01. And maybe the flat clouds was fine, but let's do 0.5 like that. Boom. Let's see here. What did I say? Volumetric clouds 0.01 and volumetric clouds 0.01. 0.01. 0.01. Yes. Okay. Okay, so that is working, and the particles are affected a lot too. It's not synchronized correctly when I'm changing the weather. So when the weather is changed, something is not right. It's calling refresh only on the server. Yeah, it looks super cool with that, you know, when they affect like that. It looks really nice. We just need maybe We needed some ambient sound to make it a little more windy, but it's not the cloud speed that looks odd, it's how fast they are. Regenerating, simulating. Ah, yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. I don't know if I can change that. I don't know if I can change that somehow. You know how fast they're changing. But anyway, everything is slowed down now, it looks like. Maybe it's connected to the speed. I don't know. Maybe I can adjust it individually. But right now there at least is the problem that when I'm changing the weather, let me just try something quickly. Quick and dirty. So let's do something like this. So the weather is changed to set the wind speed, blah 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 blah. Blah 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 blah. Okay. Oh, this should not be up, so this should be like that. And the same goes here. That was a mistake. That was a mistake. It's night. It's night. That was actually why I was wrong before. Anyway, just quick and dirty. Let me see if this works, because it's sending in the weather change. So this might be the weather it's changed to, where this might not be updated at that point. Maybe. We can also do just to. No, we cannot do that. Okay, let me quickly do this. Let's quickly try this because I have to eat dinner now. So let me just quickly test this and let's see. I was actually thinking this stream should be a little more interesting because I was thinking this would go faster, but apparently it wouldn't. So everything seems to be working except for the fact that the wind speed doesn't seem to be synchronized when you change the weather. Once you change the wind speed manually in the host, it doesn't change the variable after you change the weather. It doesn't follow the weather. So that's a bit weird. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, so here we are again. Let's see, FM host, wind speed 0.25. So it's not, now it's not saving it for some reason, which I think is nice, but it's weird why it's not. Let's see. It's not fun. Perfect. Okay, so all good. Maybe I should log out actually when I'm changing the speed. So like here I should do it, so I know when it was actually set. Maybe that would be a better idea. Okay. So let's change the cloudy here, and let's see. See, now it's 50 in the cloudy. I just set it to 10, but now it says it's 50. So what if we do it over here, wind speed, and it says 50. Okay. So that was saved for some reason. Let's just test with one of these. Let's just do something like this, so we have a bunch. And we can see the same here. Yes. It's the same for the host and the client. And now we changed, it's 50 now, so let's try and change it to the clear sky, which had... See, now that's also 50. Why is that 50 down too? And you can see... But you can clearly see that on the... You see the difference here? On the client, they are going pretty straight up. So here, the actual speed is not that much, and over here it's like crazy. So if I set it now to 30, it should be more in sync now. See, it's much... Now it's more in sync. Okay, so there's something still that is out of sync. But the thing is, it's just a matter of me trying to find out how to fix this so it actually synchronized, but it works. I'm just missing something, because you can see now, see how they fly? It looks very much the same. Ah, damn it. You see? It's almost like, you know, and remember, this is synchronized over the internet. So it looks pretty nice. This is the same. But as soon as I change the weather on one of them, it's out of sync again. Now you can clearly see that the host is going all the way to the right, left, and the client is shooting straight up. And if we go in and look into the hierarchy, we will most likely see that the environment sky, wind zone, Spectre, 0.25, whereas on the host it's come on, it's set to 30. So something is not synchronized correctly, but it's doable. That's fixable. That's no problem. The thing is, it's working. I just need... There's something I'm missing. Okay. But I have to fix this off stream. But it works. I was actually supposed to show some more things, but didn't get to do more than... Why is the music work? Hello, music. Here we go again. Yeah, I was supposed to show some more stuff, but apparently this little wind speed isn't as easy as you might think, Amnesty. But anyway, you can see I got it working. It's just a matter of synchronizing the last pieces, which might be easier when I'm not boiling in this light and windows closed and door closed and thinking and talking and yada yada yada. So where's the fix button? Yeah, exactly. Gonako, it's gone. Yeah, I hope you got something for it, but at least the feature is on its way, Amnesty, and it should be soon. It should be ready very soon. I will send you my list of 10 other demands to sidetrack you. I close my eyes for that. I have to get back to netcode, getting that one done together with Gonako, and then Kel'Thuzar and the maps, and then back to the firing system. But it's progress. Everything here is progress, really. So it's fine. It's fine. Yeah. So I will continue on this after I eat dinner, but not on stream. And then you guys in the private will hear from me once it's ready to be tested. And Granako, you will hear from me when the mod tool has been upgraded to 6.2. And then we can start testing this version a bit. And then we can send it on experimental so we can have more people help out to test it. So that would be interesting. Very interesting. So yeah, that's it for now. And now the music is gone too. Music again. Dinner time. See you, but very soon, MST. Wind speed at will. Yeah, I'm all shining in my face because it's so freaking warm in here. Anyway, see you guys.